Hello, family. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Happy Friday. Weekend is here. Can't believe we are basically in the middle of July. Like I said, 2024 is just going by fast. I always say ever since the pandemic, time has just been going by faster than ever. So, it's a trip at the end of the day. Today's word of the day is Riposte Ti. It stands for a clever comeback or witty response. I think I've said this word before, but it's one of my favorite ones. Working in the various industries that I've worked in as an adult, everybody, I always say, if you're from the DMV area, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody thinks they're the smartest thing on the planet. Everybody has 1,000 master's degrees. Yet they've mastered nothing. Everybody looks good on paper, but at times when you try to have an intellectual discussion with them, they sound like the biggest freaking idiots on the planet. But every now and then they do a great job of coming back with a clever, witty response, usually for something that has nothing to do with making money, engaging in a meaningful conversation. It's always the whole one up you just to prove how intellectually more intelligent I am, more than you. And when people like that deal with me, I know how to take them off because I know how to break them down mentally, because all the degrees in the world means nothing to me. All the intelligence in the world means nothing to me if you can't make it practical and you can't make it make sense from a common sense standpoint. So that's why, and when I bring that to the equation, it takes the academics off. But at this point in my life, I just don't care. Anyways, today's quote of the day is by Ti. He says, nothing in life is to be feared. It's only to be understood. And he's right. Especially people who have been in combat. Shout out to all of our men and women who served in the United States military and who are currently doing it now. Anybody who's a police officer, anybody who's teaching in a violent school, anybody who's works in the fire department, paramedic, anybody who's been to prison. That means you've been in hostile, dangerous situations. Anybody who comes from a war-torn country. I'm not going to say third world because there's a lot of quote-unquote third world countries that are very peaceful. But anybody comes from a war-torn country where gunshots and bombs have been dropped on a regular basis. They've lived, they know what death is. They know what having fear is. And they know what having to fight through death, escape death, escape fear, and spit on fear in the eye because they're like, hey, I know I have to get to the other side in order for me to be better. I know I have to fight, cuss, spit, whatever, in order for me to make it through this war zone. And for those of you that are not living in that environment, you have to remind yourself that, hey, one, you're fortunate enough to not live in that kind of environment. Two, you're fortunate enough to never even have to ever deal with that kind of environment. And then number three, if you're not dealing with that kind of environment, then what is holding you back? You always got to answer those questions. So on that note, do the great three things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Have a good weekend. As I always say, make money moves or you're going to live like a fool. Take care.